Hello all. When Western civilization imagines that a group of people is different and doesn't deserve to be treated as equals, the results are horrific. Jews and Native Americans were exterminated, Africans were enslaved, and much of Asia was conquered. But when Europe imagines that it has more in common with a group of people than it actually does, the results, if not horrific, can also be profoundly dangerous. This week, as we watch Greece suffer and watch financial markets plummet, it's worth taking a look at how the European imagination got us here. European myths about Greece have been causing problems for almost 200 years. Myth number 1. Modern Greece is the successor to ancient Greece. Since the Renaissance, Europe has thought of Greece as the birthplace of European civilization. This is kinda true, but to pretend that modern Greeks have anything to do with Plato and Aristotle, you need to ignore well over 1,000 years of history. If you're charitable, you can trace a real legacy of philosophy, politics, and science that lasted for hundreds of years after Plato. But from the 300s to the 500s or so, this was forcibly replaced by a Christian civilization. After centuries of decline, the last school of Athens was closed by the Byzantine Emperor Justinian in 529. Reason was replaced by faith. As this happened, Greece's modern territory was already suffering 1,000 years of invasion and decline. From Goths to Arabs to Slavs to Franks and Normans, pretty much any Mediterranean people you can imagine pillaged its way across the Greek islands at some point. In the 1400s, Greece finally got some peace under the Turks. The ancestors of the modern Greeks survived as second-class citizens in this Muslim Ottoman Empire. They heroically managed to preserve a rich tradition, but it was an Orthodox Christian one, not the classical Greek legacy imagined by Europe. This European fantasy became geopolitics in the 1830s, when intellectuals and artists guilted their governments into supporting Greek independence. Drunk on picturesque ruins and recovered texts, Europe ignored the fact that the liberated Greeks had little to do with the civilization that it thought they belonged to. This feat of imagination accelerated the decline of the Ottoman Empire and eventually brought about the apocalypse that was World War I. Greece got an independent future that it didn't really earn, leading us to the second myth. Myth number 2. Greece is a developed country. In many important respects, Greece is still an emerging economy. They started from a much lower level of development. Modernization was frustrated by a steady stream of wars, some that they chose and some that were forced upon them. Ethnic strife, dictatorship, civil war, and waves of penniless refugees kept them from industrializing or forming a functioning bureaucracy. In the end, they didn't have to. In 1981, European fantasy once again triumphed over reality, and Greece was accepted in the European Economic Community, the predecessor to the European Union. This opened a floodgate of money. Endless European grants and loans allowed Greece to build a massive public sector and social welfare system. On the surface, Greece looked like a modern country with functioning institutions, but it was all built on dreams. For 20 years, this fantasy was harmless, if expensive, until the European Union tied itself to the most ludicrous myth of all. Myth number 3. Greece can pay its debts. Greece was allowed to join the euro in 2001, tying Europe's currency to Greece's fictional public finances. We now know that this process was based on outright lies. Had anyone in Europe actually been paying attention, they would have been able to see how dangerous this was. The money that Greece owes will never be paid back. The Greek people have taken all the austerity they can, and we aren't any closer to a solution than we were 6 years ago. The international economy has been suffering for these European fantasies since 2009. This week, the issue may finally be resolved. Greece is a vibrant country with an extraordinary history. After the past 2 centuries of trying, it may even belong in the European Union. It does not belong in the euro currency area, however. It's time to stop pretending that it does. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And if you'd like to help me make more videos like this one, please click on the Patreon link here to find out how.